Hey everybody, happy Canada Day. Woohoo! It's Canada Day. It's also moving day here. There might be some noise. It is the free agent frenzy day. I think my excitement is going to be the most excitement, like right now, that we're going to have all day. I don't expect it to be a crazy busy day, but Matt, say hi, by the way.
What's happening? It still says scheduled on my screen. Did you hit go live?
We're live.
Oh, okay. That's just my screen then.
So we're going to bring you whatever transactions happen. If the Habs do something, I kind of don't expect it. Hey?
Mm-hmm.
Are you expecting?
Yeah, I don't. I think we'll be kind of quiet. There's just really no need.
There's not much need. They might reach out for a right-handed defenseman. I can see that being a thing, like an experienced guy. I don't know who's out there, to be honest, for that, but I know it's not a great free agent class. As far as there's no really big, like Ryan O'Reilly, I think is the top of the list or something. It's not the greatest free agent.
Patty Kane's out there and Taves.
Well, Patty Kane though, you sign him, you gotta wait a little bit. No, he just had hip.
But that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a great class. So it won't be like, I don't think it's going to be a super exciting day, but we are here and we will bring you whatever is going on. I would like to say I can get information from Twitter, but I think a lot of people got cut off from Twitter. It's supposed to be a bug, but I don't pay for Twitter. And I'm not the nicest guy to Elon Musk. I kind of think that's why I got cut off. So we'll see what happens, but it affects the information I get. So there's that. As you see the third screen there, that's the tracker. I'll keep refreshing it and we'll find out what's going on. I'm sure he's tied in to get info and we're going to talk about it. So let's see who's here. And if you're here, send us a message, ask us a question, whatever the hell you want. It's Canada Day. Come on. All right, let's see who's here. Habs Guru, morning, Guru. It's nice and early there too. What is it? It's only 8:00 over where you are. You're up early on a Canada Day. Hey, Red, how you doing?
Going on, Phil?
Hey, Filibuster. Now Phil's French, so I don't know. Maybe it's not Happy Canada Day for Phil. I think it is though. Red, hey Red, I said that. Matt Greer, morning, gents. What do you think of us drafting 3 goalies? And is there a name that either of you two would like to add to our roster? The 3 goalies. I'm not surprised if you remember the draft day show. Near the end, I said my prediction for the Habs' next pick, which was the 3rd round. I said they're picking a goalie. And I thought they might get 2. They got 3. I think one of them is kind of is maybe the Russian kid. But the other
Jacob Fowler is the best goalie in the class in the draft. Period.
The only knock I heard on Fowler, he's a little too overweight. Might affect him, so he's got to lose weight. He's good. Of course, he's gonna lose weight. But otherwise, they said. This might be the steal goalie of the draft, right? And he's a big time goalie. He's a guy that steps up in the playoffs. He's a guy that his quote was something about he loves the pressure.
He thrives under
privilege
pressure.
To have the pressure to play here. So I like what he says. That I think that could be that goalie of the future that we're talking about. I think that's a candidate.
Absolutely, and he's going to play his college hockey at Boston College, which, I mean, obviously it's college, but still, in the realm I'm in Hockey East, that's a pressure cooker on its own. In terms of the national provenance of that hockey program. So if he thrives there, I can see him thriving with us. No problem.
Yeah, I think they, we've been talking about it, right? Goalie of the future. Who's the goalie of the future? Who's the goalie of the future? I think they just brought one in. It doesn't mean he's going to make it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that's what they, 3 goalies. That's why they're trying to find that goalie. And they made once you're in the 3rd round and beyond, you can pick for need. I don't think that's unless there's a guy there that, wows you and you think, wow, he's there. But they pick for need.
We have our first signing.
Oh yeah, what do we got?
Oliver Ekman-Larsson, 1 year, $2.5 million to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, I don't have it here yet. Damn it. Yeah, I don't. It's not caught up there. That's
But I have
tracker,
notifications turned on for all the NHL insiders.
Oh, okay. That's a good. I didn't do that. Anyway, you'll keep us updated. That's your job, man. So OEL just got bought out by Vancouver. For the Panthers, $2 million for Ekman-Larsson. You know, it's that's not bad. You know, it's not going to really. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not going to hurt them. What do you think? Unless his play does, because I heard his plays dropped off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, baby.
But for $2 million
for what year? I mean, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. That's and who was it again? I can't remember.
Ekman-Larsson.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah.
Now the Panthers, they're strong defensively. I guess a seventh defenseman, maybe more if he plays better.
Maybe if he finds some of that more of that puck moving game that he had, back in his prime, maybe that helps him out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, let me just find my cursor. Let's get back to these
Bill,
guys.
Perry got 4 because Blackhawks needed to get to the cap floor.
Yeah, that's right.
Got 4 too.
Yeah, that's why he got 4. I just, for me, it was a surprise. Like, I don't know. I saw it up on Twitter and I retweeted and said, I don't know, does this seem weird to anyone else? Because I don't know, Corey Perry going to Chicago with all that controversy wouldn't seem like a team he'd want to go to, but he's gone there obviously to mentor Bedard. Like he did here for Suzuki and Caulfield.
A little protection there too, no?
Yeah, but I think it's more than that. I think there's some good mentorship. Look how much Caulfield and Suzuki love this guy. I'm sure that's what it's for. All right, Red. No, okay. Who would you like to see added for the draft? I don't have anybody in mind personally, so I can't really answer that. I don't think they're going to do much. At best, I think it's going to be a right-hand defenseman. Might be 28 to 32 for 1-2 seasons at a low price. That's what I think. But I have no names. You got anybody that you think
Not really. I haven't. I'd have to skim over the free agent class, but there's really no one that.
They keep their cards so close to the chest. I haven't heard anything either, really. So, okay. Red has a question. What grade for the Habs draft? I know you're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm gonna give it. I want it between a B+ and an A. I'm not sure. You think I'm crazy if I give it an A? Why? Because, as much as Reinbacher wasn't my pick, in the little research I've done since then, I've come to realize that I know in Switzerland they do this. Oh, let me show this to you, and I'll tell you why I say what I say.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that. To me, I honestly, I think I give it a B+.
Yeah, B+ is fair. I think that's fair. Okay, so this is Switzerland tracking data. They provide detailed analytics. Okay. They tracked 22 of Reinbacher's games with Claughton, and they came to the following conclusion. To get deeper, we also have a prospects model, which looks at every player from 16 to 22 and projects their potential career until they reach 30 years old. On this one, and this is all the players in the draft. Remember that. All minor like that, they track everybody. Reinbacher was simply the second best player in the draft behind Connor Bedard, with a 52% chance of being an elite top 10% player in the league on average during the next decade. And you can laugh at that, maybe. It's up to you. This is what Montreal saw. A guy that could be the second best player in the draft when you look back at it in 5 years. I'm on board because I've seen this kid is good. This kid is good, and we are not going to regret this draft pick.
No, I agree. I mean, like I've said, I think a pairing of him and Hudson could wind up being the best defensive pairing in the NHL for about a decade.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. is it probably, and you know what, I don't know if we're gonna see it, but the development camp starts today, as a matter of fact. I think they're doing one scrimmage on the 4th. I don't know if I can get that. If I can, I'm going to do a stream. We're going to see it because I think they're going to pair them up there. Because Reinbacher and Hudson are both in camp for the development camp. So that's something. I wanted to say something. Let's go back to the comment.
J-Fed, no one's drinking Kool-Aid. We're just looking at the
Kool-Aid? Who said anything about Kool-Aid?
J-Fed.
Well, then that's on you. If you really want to think that's what it's about. You know what? If this was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I would agree with you. That's probably what I'm doing because I did that. But I'm wiser 5 years into doing this and following the Habs and reading people who judge this and are experts and whatever. And I don't think I see it that way anymore. And no, I'm not buying into any Kool-Aid. Do proper research without having either a chip on your shoulder or blinders on because you don't like the kid or you don't like the draft. Do that and then see if you like the kid.
Seriously. The other thing, too, and Harry actually, I like this comment here.
Hey, Harry.
We did get Reinbacher. I do like the 3 goalies because that was, I think, to me, in our prospect pool, that was probably the biggest position to need, right? I felt like we were a little thin.
Yeah, they were. No, they absolutely were.
Good job addressing that. Obviously, Jack Eye's brother, which probably a little bit of nepotism, but again, now we get the Bash brothers.
Well-formed nepotism, though. I mean,
and then the other pick that I want to keep an eye on, because he drove me absolutely nuts when I was watching the NCAA tournament this past season, but Luke Mittelstadt, the kid we took in the 7th round, the defender out of Minnesota.
Yeah. Mittelstadt, the Buffalo guy, his brother, Corey Mittelstadt.
There's some potential there. Really not a little bit of an underrated pick. He was pretty good.
And in the 7th round, you never know. We've got a couple. I mean, there's been some players found in the 7th.
Yeah. And look, and the way I see it is, right, if you look at last year's draft, that's where we kind of stocked up on the forwards on, with what we had already had this year. And some, we took our defenders. This year, added depth on the right side of defense, took arguably
depth is very light.
Probably the best, if not one of the best defenders, could be in the next decade, and we stacked the goalie prospect pool. So, like I said, I think we're building a complete team. We're not building, heavy in one direction. It's going to be a complete.
Exactly. There was a big hole on right defense for the future. Not saying next season, but right, they plugged that. That means the defense is basically built with the prospects that they have and the guys that are already here. Defense is built, right? And forwards, we're almost there. We're close. There's a couple of holes, which they, but goalie was a big problem because in the organization, they don't have enough. It was a problem last year. And we saw that where they didn't have guys because they didn't have guys to call up because everybody was injured. So that they're starting to address this. And I think they picked up a really good potential guy, for the next goalie. I think they did a good job. There's a vision here. Gordon and Hughes and the staff have a vision for this team. They're not going to veer from the course of that vision. And I think that vision, is going to bring us a cup. Guys, if that's drinking the Kool-Aid, then guess what? Cheers. By the way, if you hear people talking and everything, it's moving day. A lot of people moving, so my windows are open because it's summer. Hey, I said hi, Harry. You might not have heard it, but hey, Harry, Habs talking to O'Reilly. It's the rumor. I think that's died down though, but there's a rumor out there. They are paying well to have Bedard well surrounded. Yeah, I think it's a bit of mentorship, definitely, and protection for him as well.
Yeah, for sure. And
and experience.
J-Fed, I want to address this Marner comment too, right? How has Mitch Marner worked out with Toronto? Just out of curiosity. Like, what have they won? I'll see if I can throw it up there.
What's this? Where's the Marner comment? I'll throw it up there, yes, because I'm too far. I'm behind.
There it is. Let me say this. This is a comparison. What if Toronto drafted Hanifin over Marner? How would that work out? The D-man who's going to score 5 goals, 20 assists, plus 10. I'll take a scoring winger every day. Well, we know how it's worked out.
You're really underrating Reinbacher. I'm going to just say that's ignorance because you haven't done your research on Reinbacher. If you're comparing Reinbacher to Hanifin, then I'm sorry, you're 100% wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Reinbacher's floor is higher than Hanifin's ceiling. According to the experts, that's not me drinking Kool-Aid. That's what I find out there.
Is
not put out by the Habs.
Josi. That's what they're saying his floor is right now. Or just under Roman Josi.
Yep. This kid is, all you people who say, watch in 3 years, watch what you're going to say about him. You're not going to be saying bad things about him. He's going to be good. He wasn't my pick. I was disappointed, but I did my research, and it's not that the Habs told me this. I did my research independently of the Habs. And that's my judgment on it, if you want. That's all. Anyway, listen, people hated Carey Price that they picked him.
Okay, J-Fed, the Leafs make the playoffs, sure, but what have they won in the playoffs?
How can you? I'll tell you what. Go be a fan of the Leafs and see if you find it any better, because you see the shit they're doing already, the dumb moves they're doing. I can't help but think it's ridiculous. Can you take that comment down? I don't know.
Well, one more thing I want to say to this too, because honest to God, I think this probably puts that argument, the nail in the coffin on that argument. We made a cup final and we beat them, and they had Mitch Marner. And we had a bunch of youngsters and a team that was essentially held together with duct tape.
And a defense that wasn't mobile, but now is.
Just saying, just because you draft a scoring winger, that doesn't automatically mean you're gonna win a bunch of Stanley Cups.
They kept Sheldon Keefe as the coach. I mean, anyway, I think we're much better off. And I think you give us 2-3 years. Listen, the Leafs are probably better than us right now overall, but I don't know. If they stay healthy this year, the Habs, they could make a wild card. They could. I'm not saying they're going to. I don't expect them to, but they got some talent here. I just think they're not. I don't think fans are used to the fact that the Habs actually this time have. This isn't like Joe Schmo that they drafted. We got a lot of good draft picks here, and
not only that, but when I see this argument that we don't have scoring wingers, it's like, so Cole Caulfield doesn't score goals?
No, okay. It's not that we have none, but I think we're short of it. But I think they found one.
I think we're a little short too, but like, I think Cole Caulfield's a perennial 40-goal scorer.
And Newhook.
If Newhook hits his ceiling,
he's going to surprise.
If Newhook breaks out, he could be a 30-35 goal guy.
Slavkovsky,
Josh Waugh.
I mean, this is a team that is being built for 2-3 years down the road. So these guys, I mean, they're not expecting them to hit in the first year or the second year. So it's a patience game. The talent is there. And the drafting, I mean, these guys have a vision and they know what they want to do. I'm going to scroll down a little bit because I've been very slow. So I'm going to get down. I'm going to go past the Kool-Aid comment. Phil says he saw a neat career sim of Reinbacher. He was paired with Norris, winning Hudson for 15 years. Amazing. Well, the Switzerland, they have this rating system that they can and this was done on everybody, not just Switzerland players. And Reinbacher was judged to be the second best player in the draft. Everybody said, Get best player available. They did that, I think.
Yeah.
We won't know for a couple of seasons, true. But I think they did that.
And the one thing I will say, too, in terms of kind of where you got to be careful with Michkov, and again, he obviously has the talent. No argument from me there at all. If he didn't get loaned to Sochi to get playing time, I don't think the hype would have been as much as it was. I don't. Because he wasn't going to get the playing time at SKA. He wasn't.
I'm going to say this. I'm more and if you want to say, oh, it's because you buy the Kool-Aid, whatever. I'm not saying Michkov's not an NHL player. Michkov as a superstar is going to be a bust. That's what I'm going to say. There are people saying already, oh, he's going to score 50. You better prove that he's going to score 50. And maybe not. If he's selfish and he doesn't know how to use the small ice, it's going to take him a while. I still think he's overrated. I just have this gut feeling that he is going to be a bust. Not Niall Yakupov bust, but not what everybody thinks. And we're going to be happy that Montreal didn't get him. I like Harry's comment. That's why I put it up. I don't want to be calling people names, really, so I'm not reading it, but everybody could read it. Yeah, I agree with that comment, Harry.
Look, I mean, to me, sure, Michkov could wind up being a superstar, but to me, I see him almost like a Cole Caulfield. I do. That, he'll probably perennially, he's probably going to be like a 40-goal scorer. 40 to 50 in that range, like Caulfield.
Maybe he will.
Maybe more.
Could be more. This is my gut feeling. This is my gut feeling, and we won't know. Like I keep saying, you don't know till 5 years down the road. And I didn't call him a bust like everybody does. He's going to be a decent NHL player. That I think is a minimum. But I don't think he's going to be much more than a good one. Not a superstar, not elite. That's my feeling. And it's not. I didn't want Michkov, so it's not sour grapes or anything like that.
I both wanted Ryan Leonard.
I wanted Ryan Leonard, yeah. Ryan Leonard, I think, is going to be a great hockey player.
Yeah.
And we may look at it and go, wow, we wish we had him. But I don't think it's because Reinbacher is going to be bad.
No, I think Reinbacher is going to be fantastic. I do.
We're just going to look at...
Seriously, I think our defense is going to be the best defense in the NHL for about a decade.
They're going to have a good defense. Going to be amongst the best. That's what I think. Yeah, I'm not going to go out and say, oh, they're that just sounds like we're cheerleaders drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not.
Right.
But they're going to be right up there, and they're going to be, for a good number of years, they're going to be a perennial contender. That's what they're building here, and they're doing it the right way. It takes time to build that. Well, let's find comments, because I feel like
exactly what I said. Everybody. Defense wins championships.
This is very true. And you know what you need on those defenses that win championships? You need guys that we hope Reinbacher will turn into. That 25 to 30-minute stud defenseman that plays in all situations and is consistent. And it's what he's projected as.
Moves that puck.
And moves the puck.
That's one of his strengths.
And he moves the puck. He moves the puck. And some guys say, some experts say that he does things you can't teach players.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's got talent. This kid's got really good talent. It was a good pick. It wasn't my pick, but it was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely it was.
So sorry again if I'm scrolling through a little bit. There's a lot of comments and I'm really far behind. 10 minutes behind here.
You and me both, Bob. You and me both.
Reg, no, we're not having guests on today. Sorry.
I saw a few Lafreniere comments in here. The Rangers are keeping him. They're not shopping him around.
Who?
That's been confirmed. Lafreniere. He's staying with the Rangers.
Yeah, once they trade, I fired. What's his name again? Once they fired the coach, I said that I don't think he's getting traded. And they fired the coach a few days after I did that video. But once that happened, I didn't think they were going to move him. Phil says we also drafted over 10% of all the goalies. That's cornering the market, ish. Learn
We
all
were
we
also
can,
very
build
thin
up
at goalie in the
profiles, then dump the
prospect pool,
weakest.
so I'm totally cool with it. Totally cool with it.
Well, I'm just saying, I knew they were going to draft goalies. They had to, and I was right. I called it third round. I thought they might trade up, though. I thought they were going to trade up to get a goalie. They didn't, and they got a damn good one, and they waited for him, And then they drafted Florian after that, didn't they?
Yeah, it was Florian, then I think Sam Harris, and then two goalies,
and then the two other goalies, yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone else, then Middlestat. That's how I think it was. All right. Hey, Joe, how you doing, Joe? It is late for you, I guess. You watching Tour de France? Yeah, I can't get into bike racing. Sean, don't understand why people can't see the last picks that we needed for D is done. 2 years from now, 2 years in now for the next 2 years, or for, I'm not sure what you're saying, for forwards and goaltenders, it was perfect. Yes. Essentially, yes. They got the defense taken care of. Like for this season, no, because Reinbacher's not going to hit right now. That's why I think they're going to sign somebody potentially today, or in the offseason, a right side defenseman, experienced, and that'll be here for a couple of seasons until Reinbacher can step in. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Look, like I said, I think to me last year was forwards in the left side. This year was goalies in the right side. That's how you build a complete team. Those are the teams that win championships, not teams that are built heavily on the offense, heavily on the defense, heavily on goaltending, like we've seen. But again, that's what I think their vision is, and I love it. Couldn't be happier about it.
I lost my oh, there it is. Phil's right. Moritz Seider being compared big time to Moritz Seider. So, yeah, I think in 5 years, when you look back, he might be somebody else that comes up, but there's a good chance we look back in 5 years and it'll definitely be Reinbacher should have been second, in a redraft. So anyway, we'll find out. J-Fed, you said go watch Reinbacher get blown up by Sandin. How long did it take Sandin to become good? It took him a little bit too, and people were going, he was a bust. He was a bust. Now you're saying that. So give it a chance. Okay, I'm scrolling a little bit. Hang on, I'd scroll. I got to do this to scroll. Bob Cannon in the house. Hey, Bob. I'm absolutely shocked and embarrassed to have seen and heard about the hate aimed at Reinbacher. I don't understand why fans are pissed at him. Blame Hughes, not the player. Disgusting. Absolutely true. This, though, I will say, Eric Engels tweeted out something about that and said that story was a little bit overblown in that he did not receive thousands of hate. What he did, though, was apparently he just turned off the comments on his posts, and he didn't hear a lot of it. And Montreal, because it said then Montreal might keep him away from the city for like a year. He's in town for the development camp. So I don't know the validity of how much hate he got, but he did receive some, and that is for sure. And
especially with what some of it was.
Yeah.
Totally
calling
disgusting.
him Adolf Hitler is ridiculous because he's from Austria. What do I lost my thought there for a second. If you got one hate message, that's one too many, because none of it is his fault. If there's anybody to be at fault, he's not, right? So anyways, and even saying the honeymoon is over for Hughes and Gordon. Why? They made a fantastic pick. The second one was great as well. I'm happy with this draft. My honeymoon's not over for me. Can't wait to see what else.
I'll be perfectly honest. I think both their first two drafts with us have been fine. Been very good. I think to me last year's draft, I think was better than this year's, but I think they're still both great.
Yeah. Last year's draft is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like that might end up being their best draft ever here, But I mean, they got 2 good prospects at minimum in this draft, the goalie and Reinbacher, that more than likely play for Montreal to whatever extent. And the rest we don't know, but they got 2 good ones in there. And then last year they got 4 really good draft picks.
I mean, you could throw like even at like I said, that kid Vincent Rohrer. I can't pronounce his name, but
Rohrer.
He looks pretty good. So you could down the road potentially throw him in there as a 5th. But I mean, those first 4 picks last year, fantastic.
Yeah, and the first 2 this year, that's not too bad. In 2 drafts, they have 6 really good prospects, and that probably, if not all 6, 5 of them are going to play for the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad at all. Anyway, but I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, right? And in a frozen cup, it tastes so good, the Kool-Aid. Let's see now. How much cap space do the Habs have? Do you know? I think they're fine still. They didn't sign anybody. Who'd they sign? They only had to qualify Newhook right now. I'm sure they'll sign him to more than that, but
Matt Nieto to Edmonton.
Yeah, that's a nothing. Matt Nieto. I don't even know much about him. I know who he is. I don't know much about that guy. So to me, that's, and you know what? I think a lot of the deals that we're going to hear today are going to be, that's Apparently Ryan Reeves to the Leafs. Not official yet, but the Leafs are going to sign Ryan Reeves, I think, for 2 or 3 seasons to protect their stars. He'll have to catch up to protect them, though. That's the thing. By the time he gets there to do something, he's going to be, hang on. Okay, hang on. Give me a sec. He's a little slow. Phil says a New York journalist says there's a possible trade. You know what? Habs, all Habs there on Twitter last night posted something that was ridiculous about, I believe, about Reinbacher and like something that Habs apparently said. And he is a clickbait bullshitter. So I sent him a message like, how come no one else is reporting this if it's this explosive? And nobody else did. So I'm just saying that this New York journalist, I don't know, maybe he's, he doesn't have a real rumor, or he doesn't have the right information.
Mm.
Maybe he's a flopper. Who, the goalie? Flip flopper? I don't know. I'm trying to catch up on comments, so Reinbacher, future D1. I don't think D1, but a D2. At least top line. We'll get to that in a sec. And Newhook. Oh, you call him Le Crochet in French? That's actually pretty good. Top 6 with our first and second round picks. Yeah, I think Newhook is a top 6. Second line winger. And I like Newhook. Jordan Saylor. Thank you, Jordan, for the dono.
Thank you very much, my man.
Yeah, thank you so much. And by the way, I want to do a draw soon, but we need more donos before that's feasible. So if you want to donate, you'll get your name into the next draw. I don't have it here, but it's a Habs mug, a really nice Habs mug that I'm sending out. So send in the money. You could win the mug. I didn't get his comment. Put it back up. Can you put it back up?
Oh, yeah, I'll put it back up.
Because I didn't read it. I did really want Hrabal. Hrabal went first, I think, right? Hrabal and Guyan went like 1-2 when they got picked. He was a tall like Dryden. He was, huge. Fowler will probably be good, though. Keep up the good work, Rick and Matt. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. Fowler, okay, he's not 6'7", because I think Hrabal or Guyan, I think Hrabal is 6'7" or something. He's huge. Fowler's like 6'2", 6'3", he's fine. He's fine his height and all that. Apparently, he just needs to be in better physical condition. I'm sure they're going to start working with him right away on that, and that's not going to be a problem. Or you can take that down. Oh, I got it here. Well, I just put it back up. Peter thought Reinbacher was safe and dull, but probably the right thing to do. That's actually a good point. He wasn't the sexy pick, and that's why people are angry. But sometimes the non-sexy pick is the right pick, and that's what matters, is the right pick. Did they get it right? They might not have, but I think they did.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this? We also got a player who can play now. Wasn't he 15th overall? We don't have to wait for that pick. Who's that? Did I miss something? Oh, no, that's Newhook. Newhook. He was 16th. He was 16th. He was right
Caulfield,
behind
though, too. I mean,
Caulfield was one ahead of him.
But we're talking about we need goal-scoring forwards.
Yeah, I know. And people are looking and saying he only got 14 goals last year. But he's a kid. It's not. He's going to get more than that as he goes through his career.
He's also on a loaded Avalanche team. He didn't play that much. He's going to get more minutes with us.
To me, Newhook's potential 25 to 35 goal scorer. That's how I see Newhook.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to average out 30 goals a year on the wing, I think that's pretty good. If that's
plus 40 to 50 from Caulfield.
Yeah.
There's your goal scorers.
And
point of game pace from Suzuki. I mean, that's where your point production's coming.
Suzuki has a potential for 35 goals, I think. And that's what they saw. And then Hughes mentioned Joshua Waugh when asked about this. That's where they think the goals are going to come from this season. These guys are going to produce more. So they didn't need to go out and get that. They needed to get the best player available. They felt it was Reinbacher. And to break the tiebreaker between him and Leonard, Reinbacher completely fills that hole for the defense and completes the defense. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I'm sure they saw that thing where he was rated second best player behind Bedard. That had to come into play.
Oh, yeah.
Scrolling a little bit. I apologize, everybody. If I missed something, just redo it and we'll get to it. Do you think Evans is our fourth center, or will there be a standout who wins it? I do, because first of all, you can't have a top guy there. You can't have big money playing there. You got to have a grinder like Evans. So right now, I do. I think Evans is still, unless they move him. But what do you think, Matt?
No, it'll be Evans. It'll be Evans. I think at some point, Dvorak's going to be moved before the season starts. Probably see
problem with that. Do you know today he has a modified no trade clause that kicked in? He can give 8 teams that they can't move him to. But at the same time, the Leafs also their stars had their no trades kick in. So the Leafs now can't move Matthews unless he approves.
Any of them, I think. Matthews, Minor, and Nylander.
Right. All 4. Tavares too, but they're not moving Tavares.
I don't think they're moving any of them. There's no trade clause with Shanahan going. Yeah, you guys aren't going anywhere. That was a move clause.
Well, there's talk there. They are shopping Nylander.
I did see that.
Oh yeah, that came out last night.
I did. No, I did see that.
Oh, yeah. They're shopping Nylander.
You about that?
Eh? Yeah, I know. I didn't answer. I don't know what happened. It got lost in the day. I apologize. But yeah, they're shopping Nylander. So let's see what happens. We got no cap space, so this is going to be slow for us. Well, first of all, they can go 10% over the cap in the offseason, so they have that. You're also forgetting they've got Carey Price. His LTIR is $10 million. And I expect they're going to make moves to move guys out and get cap space there. So we'll see what happens. I don't think they're fully done, but I don't think they're going to be that active. Like, I don't think we're going to see a flurry of moves by Montreal.
No.
And at this rate, what are we in? We're 40 minutes into this broadcast here. So, and what, 2 transactions so far?
2 or 3.
And small ones. I don't think it's going to be a big day.
I did just see that Mackenzie Blackwood's going to sign with the Sharks. He's not going to hit the open market. So I guess you could kind of throw that in there too.
There you go. Yeah, I mean the names up on the board aren't big.
Mm-hmm.
Another point that I made online says Bob yesterday is that it takes an entire team to win. You need goal scorers, setup guys who can go in the corners and get the puck. Need D guys who can play D. No, exactly. And listen, you can see the way they're building this team. They're doing that. And that takes a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Give them another 2 years. I think in 2 seasons, if they haven't already made the playoffs, the next one they will. This team they're building is going to be a good team.
Well, like I said, the plan is 24, 25 is when.
Yeah, to start making the playoffs.
Ahead.
Yeah. And not this season, but the next one, they are planning to start making that, attempting to make a run to get in, and then go from there. Get better every year until they're a contender, not just a playoff contender, but a cup contender.
And if that's the plan, Michkov doesn't fit that mold if he's not over here if he's going to be over here in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, this was what the guy put out. Thank you for that. Breaking news. The interpreter for Michkov, when he was interviewed, says that Michkov's plan is he won't be in camp this season, but he plans to come next season to camp and make the team. So he's saying that it won't be 3 years. It's only going to be next year. And that's why I told the guy, why is nobody reporting that other than you? Clickbait bullshit. And if that was the case, we'd have already heard that from other people.
Oh, yeah. Well, if that was the case, Michkov would have been taken second overall.
Well, this apparently came out after the draft.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if that was the case, though, and people were reporting on it, he would have been second overall.
I don't know about second, but
I think
San Jose would have grabbed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If that were the case, Montreal still would have taken Reinbacher.
Yeah, Red, go ahead, man. Yeah. No, I still think they probably would have went Reinbacher, too.
Yeah, I think if Will Smith was there, it was still going to be Reinbacher.
I think it would have been a tougher choice, but
it would have been a tougher choice. I think they still would have, because I think Reinbacher may have the higher ceiling as far as being an elite player at his position. That's what I'm saying. And that's what they're looking for. Down the road, who's going to be the best player at their position? Not necessarily the most points, but who's going to be that best player? Reinbacher, I think, we'll see in 5 years, but I think from what I'm reading...
I said this on Twitter last night, too, in a conversation I was having, right? If you get, right, a guy like Reinbacher and Hudson, right, on that first pair, you get them consistently pushing that puck up the ice, the goals are going to come. Because if the puck's consistently flying up in our offensive zone, more goals. I mean, that's just math.
And I've been saying this at least 2 or 3 years that they need more offense coming from the back end. And I mean the puck movers, guys that can get the puck to those forwards. So when they're on the fly through the neutral zone, they're getting the puck with speed. And we don't have anybody like that. But guess what? We do now. That's his game.
Yeah.
It's a big part of his game is getting that puck up there quickly and accurately.
Yep. The same thing with Hudson, but with Hudson too, you have the dynamic that if he doesn't see that, he's on the burners, he's off to the races. He's going to go in himself, right? So you have that other aspect there.
Yeah,
and then you got to have the howitzer from Mayu, so the offense is going to come from the back end now. Now we have at least 3 guys that'll be able to kind of provide that a little bit. I think even someone like a Justin Barron, I think will be kind of that, again, kind of get that puck up the ice. Or even like a Jordan Harris, I think has to develop that a little bit, but I like Harris as like a stay-at-home defender. I think he's
smart
exceptional
player
in his own end. Yeah,
Harris is a smart hockey player.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna see. That's one thing we're gonna say about him. over his career. Smart guy. Like he really he sees the ice well and thinks well.
Goalie too, I think as well. I think Goolie's a very smart player.
Yeah. I think we've got a very good mobile defense, and now a good combo of offense and stay-at-home ability between all the players. You know, I think so. I think it's going to be, like you say, one of the best in the league. When 2-3 years down the road, they've built a really solid defense. I'm going to refresh up there and just to see if anything is up there, but it's quiet as we knew.
Because that's really what you need, right, to win consistently in this league. You need a defense that's complete like that. And I reiterate that word complete, right? Because you don't want to be too heavy in one area. You want to be complete. You want to have that combination. Because then it's like pick your poison. You know, who am I going to let kill me this game? You know what I mean? That's why I see anyway. That's why I say they're playing chess, not checkers. That's real. I believe that.
They are. That's what they're building a team. It is kind of like chess, right? You got to be methodic, and you got to be patient.
And if you thinking moves ahead,
you got to think the moves ahead. But if you jump too quickly, and you haven't done your setup, you're gonna lose. And they're not jumping quickly. They're doing the right way, in my opinion. Because I drank the Kool-Aid. Yay! Cheers with the Kool-Aid.
Oh, I like that. I like that, Stan the Man. Hudson, Reinbacker, Mayu, Gooley, the 4 horsemen.
The 4 horsemen of the Habs apocalypse.
I mean, seriously though, they could develop into like that kind of a unit. You know,
it's a big, bruising, talented group of defensemen that are developing here, in my opinion. Do I see Monahan playing the wing? I think yes. I don't think full time. I think between Doc, Monahan, and whoever's going to be also in the run for the third line seat. I think depending on the game and the matchup, I think you'll see some movement there. I think Coach Marty has a lot of options now in that department. So, I think depending on matchups, game matchups, I'm not saying particularly line, but he can change it during the game as well. So, I think Monahan will play some wing, definitely.
All right.
Frank Saravalli is reporting, Harry says, that the Senators have looked at Jake Allen as well as several other goaltenders to fill their starter's role short term.
Fantilli's not going back to Michigan. He just signed his ELC.
Oh, well, that was predicted, though. I thought he might, but that was predicted. You know why? I think potentially as well. He really wanted to go to Columbus. Is he from there? Is he from that area?
I think somewhere around there.
Must be why, because he was pumped that he was going to Columbus. At least that's what I could tell from what I've read and stuff. So not surprised because a lot of people had him joining the NHL right away. So not surprised.
I can report Jesper Fast signed a 2-year extension with the Hurricanes, 2 years of 2.5.
Who's that? I didn't hear the name.
Jesper Fast.
Oh, Fast. I heard he's pretty slow though.
2 year. 2 year at 2.4 AV.
That's worth it. That doesn't hurt you.
Sounds like Seattle, Carolina, and Pittsburgh are the front runners for Erik Karlsson.
Yeah, Karlsson. How much can they hold of that contract? They're not going to hold half.
I guess the Leafs were looking into it too, but they dropped out.
I think it's going to be a 3-way deal. So someone takes some of their retained money and gets something for that to move Karlsson. I think you got to do that. Zeph says Evans will be out by the time we are contenders. His history of concussions is going against him. Then Harry says his history of 1 concussion is in his career. I don't think that's correct, Harry. I believe he's had at least 2 or 3 serious concussions not in his NHL career, but in his in his hockey career, his whole life. He's had some serious concussions, and it is what's the word I'm looking for? It is a concern about concussions with Evans.
Alex Killorn is hitting the UFA market.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I mean, Tampa is got money problems now. I'm not surprised. He probably can't get what he wants there. I mean, listen, a lot of players can't get what they want this year because I think you're going to see a lot of in this today, like these kind of deals, short term, very short term, because the cap's not going up much next season, but it's starting to go up the season after.
Yep.
So you'll see guys signing 1 or 2 year deals mostly, I think.
Yeah. Also looking like the Rangers are the front runner for Blake Wheeler.
Yeah, somehow that doesn't surprise me. I don't know why. Not in a good or a bad way. Neither. Just that makes sense for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Good experienced guy. You get him for a couple of seasons. He could help them.
Oh, yeah.
Red, go ahead. Put some options there. Don't flood the thing there, but, I mean, definitely put some that's what the chat is for. Let's have something to talk about.
1 year, $1.5 million. Antti Raanta staying with the Hurricanes.
Okay, there was talk that the Hurricanes would start looking for goalies at the draft. They didn't, so I'm not surprised there. Joe says this build-up by the Habs first-round pick an RHD and a few goalies shows how committed they are in a challenge for a probable wild card. I'll say this. I don't think they think they're going to make a wild card, but I do think that they believe the possibility is there. I also think that even if they just make a run at for a little while, say up until the last month of the season, and they fall back. That's not so bad. These young kids get some experience at making a run for the playoffs. It can only help. So, I think they are committed.
Mm-hmm.
They said this season going into this season, they're not going to be saying that, wins and losses aren't important because they think that they're better than they were last season without the injuries. And they are. I think they are. Playoffs in 2 seasons, I think, is a definite possibility. Bob, I was reading his comment. I just read it now, but it's what I said before. There's not going to be a lot of long-term stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a boring free agent frenzy. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's not a great year for free agents, and there's not a lot of money to throw around.
Mm-hmm.
Zeph, we do have Deadwood on this team. Dvorak is not, in my opinion. Why? Because I think Dvorak is a good. His contract's not horrible, and he's tradable because he's consistent in face-offs and points per game in his career. You know what you're getting when you get Christian Dvorak.
Mm-hmm.
Hoffman, he might be you might be able to move him because you can retain money on him this year. It's only 1 year left. Habs will retain money for 1 season as long as it doesn't go to next. Edmundson's definitely getting moved in this offseason. And I think he's tradable as long as his back is healthy. But, to me, even if it's for futures, you got to move Edmundson. Gallagher and Armia, lots of freaking luck. I don't see anybody. And it's not a knock on Gallagher. His contract's horrible and his body's breaking down. Armia, 2 years left. Montreal's not holding money on that, retaining anything. So I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, no, I Edmundson, Devo, I think do get moved this offseason.
Devo possible. Yeah.
Gallagher, because of his contract, he's not getting moved. But I'm in the boat that I just think he'll play. Might get 10 games and then there'll be an injury and he'll be on LTIR. like you said, he's breaking down. I mean, there's no nice way to put it.
Last 2-3 years of that contract, he's on the LTIR, in my opinion.
And Armia,
good luck.
Well, if there's a team that has to get to the cap floor,
they should be trying.
I hear future considerations is in play to be traded.
Yeah, I think Chicago. You can get them over to Chicago. They I don't know what other teams need to get to the floor though, but whatever, like you said, you need to get to the floor. Armia, he's good for that. He's great at getting to the floor.
Phil, I hope Galley bounces back, but I doubt it, man. I think his body's just been through the ringer too many times.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'll just go as far as say this. If he can't have at least close to a full season this season, then he's not ever going to have one at his age. Mm-hmm. Who's already ordered their Ryan Bucker jersey? I'm sure somebody has. I mean, people have. I don't think everybody hates the kid. I certainly don't. Joe, but that challenge for the playoffs in 2 seasons could get them in the playoffs. You don't know. I think you're right. I mean, I think in 2 seasons they'll be, either getting into the playoffs easily enough or challenging to get a wild card spot. Because remember this, no matter what we think here, they've got to pass and leapfrog over the teams that are already, doing this. And there'll be some. So, it's going to be their ability to get better and to be able to leapfrog over the teams that are ahead of them. Reinbacher does not have a number yet. No. So I guess he can't get a Reinbacher shirt yet. That 23, if anybody wondered, it's because it's 2023. So that year he got drafted. That's the only reason he was in 23. He'll have a number by... Oh, hell, they'll probably assign him a number today because it's the first day of development camp. So whatever sweater he's wearing in development camp, that's his number. More than likely, that's his number.
I mean, there's really not a lot to choose from.
No, but I mean, a guy like that, when he does make the team, he'll have other options if he doesn't like the number they've given him already.
Yeah, but I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing here with the Celtics. There's so many retired numbers. It's kind of like...
No, exactly. But you know what? A prospect like Reinbacher, if there's a number there that he wants, they'll give it to him. Like if there's a number there and he says, yeah, I'd like that number that's the number I want for my career, they'll give it to him. Like now,
Yeah, but not if it's a retire. Oh!
No.
Okay, Habs news. Joel Edmundson might be on the move to the Capitals.
Joel Edmundson maybe on the move to the Caps. All right, something to talk about. Woo!
Habs Capitals are in trade discussions right now.
And I just said Edmundson, I think going for sure this offseason, maybe today. They can't. There's no room for Edmundson. There's just no room. So that $3.5 million, they need that cap space. So yeah, Edmundson, and I don't think the return is going to be anything more than a pick or futures. Honestly, don't expect much back because they can't take a guy that they have to put on the cap. So we'll see how that works out. For the D, someone read saying Carson Soucy. I don't know a lot about him, but I do think if they can, they're going to find a right D for the next 1 or 2 seasons. There's a hole there until Reinbacher makes it, and he's not coming in next year. So let's see, where am I? I'm scrolling. Like I said, Red, you don't have to ask if you can ask a question. Just ask it. If I bypass it, just ask it again. I will get to them as best I can. Zeph, I don't think they're trading Allen because they don't have enough goalies in the system. So unless you see they made a trade to bring in a different goalie, less money, then expect Allen will be traded. And it's not to say I don't think they should or anything, I think Monty's emergence so far kind of makes Allen expendable at some point. So,
yeah, I mean, especially if Fowler hits. Like I said, I can see Monty Fowler being the 1A, 1B. I really can.
that quickly, Fowler's going to take a couple of years. He's in
It's not
college.
that quickly, but I mean, like, I think that
Down the
that
road.
could be the plan. Yeah.
Down the road. Well, I think down the road, Fowler right now, till they know better or he proves that he's not, Fowler is, I think, is the guy they're looking at right now as the goalie of the future to be here, to be the number one of the future. Or at the very least, 1A in a 1A, 1B.
Joel Edmundson has been traded to Washington.
Joel Edmundson is a Washington Capital.
No salary retention.
That's awesome that there's no salary retention. It's still not announced on this stupid tracker I've got up here. Why do I have
coming to Montreal?
What? Who's coming?
Draft picks.
Which one? What do they got? No, they don't list it?
Nothing yet. Matty going to Pittsburgh.
Where are you getting that from? Maybe I can get there.
Yeah, it's because I have LeBron and Drake, all those guys. I get their notifications when they tweet on Twitter.
Right, because I just went on Twitter and I still got nothing. Bloody Twitter.
The bug
to get us to pay.
The bug's going to be fixed. There's way too much backlash for them.
They're trying to get us to pay, and it probably is backfiring on them. So they're going to do something and go, oh, well, we fixed it.
It's Joel Edmundson to the Capitals, no salary retained for a 3rd round pick and a 7th round pick.
What year?
I'm not sure.
Anyways, that's fine. We got a 3rd and a 7th for Edmundson now.
And no salary retained?
And no salary retained. A1. That's an A1 trade. It's not a knock on Edmundson. But there was no room. And with his back and everything, he's got back injury history. And they got a 3rd and a 7th and didn't have to. That I think that's really good. I like our GM. I'm sorry. I don't think he gets fleeced ever. At the very least, it's a win-win when he makes a trade. And at the best, it's a big win for Montreal. And you know what? That's a big win for Montreal.
Luke
they needed to move Eddie.
2.75 AAV to the Predators.
Say that again?
Luke Shen, 3 years, 2.75 AAV to the Predators.
Thought he wanted to stay in Toronto. Is that not the same Shen?
Yeah, it's Luke Shen. No, Toronto stopped pursuing him.
And you know what? Shen was, if you're talking about tough guys, Shen was pretty tough. I guess not good enough, though. But so Reeves is. Way to go, Leafs. Leafs, I'm happy that the Leafs are going to keep being a team I can make fun of. Richard, love your name. Big D-man for the Habs in the next few years. Serge Savard a toujours dit qu'une équipe championne est bâtie par le défensive. In other words, championship teams are built with defense. And this is true. And right now, Montreal's got those pieces in place. When Reinbacher hits, they've got the defense in place now. They just have to mature, get a little better and experience and all that, and we're going to have a hell of a goddamn D here. Do I see Killorn start signing with Montreal? I did a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 seasons ago. I thought he would sign here. But no, I don't. I don't. It's not that I don't see him signing here. I don't see Montreal being interested, is what I'm saying. For me, I'd consider starting Slav in Laval to give him a fresh start, if you will, with no pressure. He kind of looked like a fish out of water in the NHL, then got hurt. A reset might be good for him. I only agree with you if he has a bad camp. If he has a good camp, he's starting here. I think we're going to see a better, more heads up and aware Slavkovsky than we did last season. We're going to see a kid who you could say, oh, he doesn't look the same. He looks a little better than he did in his rookie season. So I don't know. But if he has a really good camp, he's sticking. So I think the camp is really going to be...
son of a bitch.
What?
We're retaining 50% on Edmundson.
So it's 1.75. They made 1.75 million in cap space. Listen, he said guys that have less than 1 year left, they'll retain salary on. He said that. It's as long as it doesn't go past this season. That's fine. They're not
Actually, yeah, that's not
more.
bad at all.
Dude, they're not going to be doing that much more that they need a ton of their cap. So if you're expecting they're going to sign somebody big, they're not. I'm going to be surprised if they do. I really am. They might sign average guys, but I don't think you're going to see any big signings.
Twitter might be starting to get fixed, by the way.
Good for it, piece of shit. Elon, I'm not going to say the word that I call him instead of Musk now, but it starts with F and ends in K. With his tiny little dick, that's his problem. He's a big cis. And that's calling somebody a cis isn't really a slur. I don't think it is. Yet to him it is, because he hates trans people. His daughter is trans and he hates her. She disowned him. Here's my rant. Okay, Rick, concentrate on the goddamn chat. I can hear you guys saying that. I'm really sorry. Phil thinks Gallagher will bounce back just fine, but I'm going to just say this, and I like Phil. Phil's a good guy. So, Phil, take this the right way. But Phil thinks Drew is going to get signed as well.
No.
I'm just bugging you, Phil, but I don't agree with that. I mean, like, Gallagher will bounce back for a short period of time, but he's going to get hurt again. I just don't see that not happening. But I wish him the best, and I wish he wouldn't. I mean, Gallagher's still Gallagher in my heart as far as, you know, his character and all that. Like, yeah. But I think Gallagher, the player, might be at the end. Harry, if he goes to LTR right now, I mean, that's going to be hard because they've already got Carey Price there with a big contract. I mean, they can do it, I guess. I don't know. Armia could get moved with a sweetener. Anaheim, Arizona, Columbus, Detroit all need to get to the floor. Of those teams, I don't see Yzerman doing that.
I mean, who said did Columbus have to get to the floor?
Yeah. J-Fed
I can see Columbus, the Finnish connection there.
For me, I was going to say Arizona and Columbus. To me, I don't see Anaheim doing that. I don't see Detroit. But Arizona, I can see them signing. Like, it doesn't matter there.
Twitter's fixed.
Twitter's fixed. Okay. And Columbus, I can see the middle too. Oh, you said Chicago, you mean? Yeah, definitely. No, Chicago, I can see Chicago. Yes, because I said it earlier. I can see why. Send them to Chicago. They need that. I'm just checking to see if my Twitter's fixed. Not me.
It's getting there. It's just about fixed. There's a few things that still need to be.
It's fixed.
It's just it is. It's pretty much there.
No, I got it back. I got my Twitter back. You know, I don't necessarily. I enjoy Twitter for the gossipy shit and seeing all that. Yes, of course, like everybody. I don't engage in a lot of it, but I read it. But I need Twitter because hockey stories break quickest there. They might not get everything, but if I'm on Twitter, I can get the information I need. What's so funny?
Ryan Reeves, 3 years, $2 million. To Toronto.
Is that league minimum, like, basically? Or $2 million is the AAV?
$2 million AAV. Well,
that's an overpayment. No, seriously though, isn't that? I mean, that's an overpayment for Ryan Reeves. $2 million, $1.5 million. I wouldn't laugh so much, but I still think Ryan Reeves. I don't see him being the answer. My only worry is with Reeves is that we got to play them 3 times. I think it's 3 times next season. The schedule's out, by the way.
It's all right. Barbara Jack, I'm not worried.
You still, I don't want
I
Cole to take a brutal hit from a piece of shit like that.
Cole will just skate around him.
Hopefully. But in general, I mean, I'm not worried. I can't believe how many. I'm just really scrolling through. I really apologize. There's no goddamn way I can get to all of you. I'm going to go up and down and just find ones I like. Hey, Randy, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Yeah, Edmundson, they retained 50% and got a third and a seventh. You know what? I'm happy.
Yeah, I can't complain. I'm trying to figure out the years. Or no, excuse me, the years that the picks are in. That's why my screen's black. I'm on Twitter.
Yeah, no worries. Phil, though, the problem with what you said there, I'm going down here. Price's contract could help any team looking to reach the floor, and Arizona with their spending issues. I'm going to ask you this question. If you think that they'll trade Carey Price's contract because he's not coming back, would they have had him at the draft and announcing the pick? They wouldn't have. And that, to me, shows that they're still committed to him being part of the organization, and he's committed to being part of the organization, whether he comes back or not. So I don't anticipate Montreal trading Carey Price's contract.
Ryan O'Reilly to the Predators.
Ryan O'Reilly to the Predators. That's the number one guy off the board. What kind of contract for him? He's getting up there in age. I guess I could find that stuff out now, too, that I'm on Twitter on my other screen. But I want to get to comments. You follow that stuff and keep us updated, and I'm going to get to comments.
All right, so it's 3 by 1.35 million. So probably up to 2 million with bonuses or whatever the hell.
Yes, that's a good deal for the Preds.
No, Reeves. That's Reeves.
Oh, Reeves. Thought it was the Preds.
No. But, I mean, so far, I think the Preds have done good business. Shen and Ryan O'Reilly. It's not bad.
Preds, you're saying? Yeah, no. What are you saying?
The Predators have signed Luke Shen and Ryan O'Reilly.
Oh, I thought you said Edmundson, and I'm going, wait, that's not.
No, the Predators.
I think, Trotz is doing a good job so far, is what you're saying. Yeah.
I
don't disagree with that. Phil says Joe was wearing, that's Eddie. Oh, yeah, Joel Edmundson. You always give it a different nickname. You screw me up all the time that way, dude. Eddie was wearing a letter. Who gets his A? My prediction for that, I'm going to give it to you really soon. Either Monahan or Cole Caulfield.
Carolina trying to hold on to Anderson. I can also confirm Tyler Bertuzzi and the Bruins contract negotiations have broken down. He will not return to Boston.
They can't afford him, don't you think?
I guess they were agreed on money, but the sticking point, I think the Bruins wanted him at 4 years, and he wanted at least 5.
I'm surprised that money was okay. How are they going to afford him?
James Van Riemsdyk to the Bruins.
He's still. Oh, that's $7 million, dude. Or is he a free agent? That's a free agent.
A free agent. Yeah.
Okay, because his last contract was $7 million. JVR to the Bruins. I mean, you want to say the Bruins are still cup contenders? I don't think so. Playoff contenders, maybe. Cup contenders, I don't know. Joe calls Elon Musk Elon Dust. Yeah, you're nice. Maybe as in space dust, because I believe, like, if you believe Mark Zuckerberg is an alien, which I think maybe he is, he's an alien. I think Elon Musk is just the same. I think they're from neighboring planets and they don't like each other, and that's what I think. But they're both aliens. Phil says, I don't think Toronto will get signed. That's new. Oh, you want him to. Oh, that's the
Cam's pissed. Cam's losing his mind.
What's that?
Cam.
Why? What's happening?
Because they're letting Bertuzzi walk and they just signed JVR.
I mean, like I said, maybe they're not as serious about keeping their window open, right?
Oh, I said it last year. As soon as they got knocked out, I looked at my buddy Chris. We were in a bar. Alex was with us, and I go, "That was it, Chris. I think that was it. I think you win. I think your window just slammed shut." And I was serious. I
I
said,
think so too.
That's it.
They may make the playoffs, but their cup contending window's done.
It's 1 year at $1 million for JVR.
And especially if they couldn't do it last year, like they're not going to do it this year coming. What's JoJo? I'm reading Phil's comment. There would be so many great articles to read about. Oh, Jonathan Drouin staying. What? Hate? You mean hate articles? That's all there'd be. Hate. It's so much better for him to go elsewhere, which he will today or in the next little while. I don't know when exactly, but he is. That's another thing we forgot. Jonathan Drouin is no longer a Montreal Canadian.
This is true.
And it's Canada Day. Wow.
Connor Sheary's going to sign with the Lightning.
Connor Sheary to the Lightning. That's probably a good deal for. That's a good move for the Lightning, especially if they're losing. If they're going to lose Killorn. Zeph says, "Wow, Toronto and Shanahan is getting ridiculous. It's just getting more ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for a long time."
The 3rd and the 7th round picks the Habs got are for next year's draft.
For next year's draft for Edmundson.
2024 3rd and a 2024
nice.
4th, 7th.
Nice. Another third for next year. That's a trading piece right there.
I think that's, I mean, 50% retained for a season too. Like, I don't think that's bad business at all.
No, it's 1.75. That's nothing. That's not huge on the cap, and they had to move Eddie. They had to move him. So if they're paying a little bit, but they're saving, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
By the way, Price is not 4 more years. It's 3 more now. Galley's 4, I think. I'm going to go back a little bit and see if there's anything up there I want to answer. Oh, we got to go a little bit more. Bob says, I do love Hughes, and for the most part, I like Bergie as GM too. I definitely agree with that sentiment. I did like Bergie most of the time. Not every draft or signing or trade works out. Bergie's overall work was good. Hughes and Gordon are smart cookies and have a plan. They have a plan. You know what else I like about the fact that they have a plan is they're not going to be diverted from their plan because fans want something. And that's something you couldn't really say about Bergie. You couldn't. The only reason we drafted Louis LeBlanc was because the fans wanted him. And then that means we didn't get Chris Kreider. And then guess what? Chris Kreider screws Carey Price's career up. And there's no cups. So that's what happens when you listen to the fans. There's my rant. Another rant for the... Listen, you're getting multiple rants today. Hey, bye. Yes, until he did sign his ELC. I thought he'd go for... I thought it was a good possibility he would go for another year or two, but the feeling out there was that he would sign and not go back to college, and they were right, and I was wrong. I don't know if you hear that, but we're getting thunder. So if all of us, well, the stream won't go off if I lose power because Matt's there. But if I go out all of a sudden, that'll be it. Just so everybody knows, if all of a sudden, boom, Rick's gone, it's because we're having a little bit of weather. Don't we have weather all the time? What a stupid saying. Washington has no second, but 3/3. Well, now they have 2/3. All right, back down to the bottom here. Let's see what I missed here. Joe thinks Price will most likely be helping out with the goalies, especially with an influx of young goalies. Listen, I don't know how true that is or not, but I think just that the fact that Price was at the draft, made the first pick, like announced it, that shows a lot for the team's commitment to him and his commitment to the team. Where that'll lead, yeah, I mean, it could lead to him being a coach eventually, or just a consultant, a goalie consultant, which that sounds like it might make sense. But I don't think he can do a job like that officially until he retires. And with 3 years and $31.5 million on the table, he's not retiring till then. Zachary Candido, happy Canada Day, Zachary. And good luck with your Leafs, dude. I don't understand what they're doing over there, but good luck to you. I'm going to say this because Zachary's here. And I just thought of this now, so it's a prediction right off the top of my head. Montreal is not going to surprise me if Montreal is better than the Leafs by the end of next year. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If that's how it turns out that Montreal had a great year, Toronto didn't, I'm not going to be surprised by that at all. Phil, who's Zook and who's Muskie? I don't. He's a Zook. So he get mangled. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, let me scroll a little bit down. Phil says, if what I describe is true, old man, he says, alien billionaires, then Elon is the Autobot and Zuckerberg is the deception. Now I know who Zooks is. That's Zuckerberg. And Muskie is Musk. I get it now. And social media is the Energon or I don't know. That's what Transformers, right? Connor Brown signing with Edmonton, says Enertop. And you can hear the rain. By the way, the reason that's so loud, if you hear it, they built an eave thing over the entrance. I'm right over the entrance of the building. And it's not finished and it's covered in plastic and it makes a lot of noise when it rains. Phil, I think you're right. Third round picks can be underrated and decent value. And you can find guys in the third round. You know, it doesn't happen every time or every pick, but you can find guys there if your scouting is good.
Varlamov is going to sign an extension with the Isles.
Varlamov signing an extension. I thought so. That I was reading a little bit about that. I thought he might. Should we have a moment of silence for Drouin? It's too bad the Habs couldn't find an elite shooter to complement his skills. His contract then turned terrible, and here we are. It's too bad that he didn't bring his complement of skills all the time, and maybe they could have put an elite shooter with him.
I think it's also more so just the fact that he was so injured. And you know what I mean? It just, like, sure, we could have put a shooter with him, but
the stress,
the injuries is really what kind of
the stress of being a French player here in Quebec. I think it really affected his health, not just his mental health. Mm-hmm. So, no, he needs to go somewhere else. And if he goes somewhere else, I can see him doing pretty decently. Somewhere else. He's not going to do it here. This is not the city for him. I like that comment, Phil. I'm going to try to read that. This is my super goodbye, going away party parade of celebration. But I guess so, because he's gone from Montreal. He's no longer a Montreal Canadiens property. Red wants the Habs to sign Is it Carson Soucy? If that's the guy like you're thinking on defense for the right I don't think they're signing. I think if they sign anybody, it's a right side defenseman. So, hey Joseph, good to see you. Good trade for Edmundson. I think so. Yeah. Leafs are interested in Bertuzzi, Bailey, and Domi. Max Domi, definite possibility there because of his father, the tie there with the Leafs. I could see that. Bertuzzi, no. Bertuzzi is not. Bertuzzi's going to an American club. He's not coming to Canada. And Bailey may be done, though. Am I right? Bailey may be done? Or is it Nelson? Which one am I thinking of?
Blake Wheeler, 1-year deal to the Rangers.
That makes sense. Wheeler's what, 36 or 37, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Phil, I'm not getting fireworks and parade noises. It's rain. No, Zeph says he still likes Drouin, but in a specific role.
Ryan O'Reilly's contract with the Sorry, Rick.
Go ahead.
Ryan O'Reilly's contract with the Predators, 4 years, $4.5 million AAV.
How old is O'Reilly? 30?
33.
He's 33.
Oh, he's up there. He's in his probably 30, 31, 32, somewhere around there.
I'm going to say the last 2 years of that contract, not going to be great, in my opinion. Just the type of game O'Reilly plays. I mean, his body's got to be breaking down too.
Yeah.
But 4 years from now, I don't know. 2 years is probably really good on that contract. The other 2 is a question mark in my mind.
Blake Wheeler's deal is 1 year, $800,000.
1 year, $800,000. That's a good deal. Phil, you're wrong. Drouin has no value. If he had value, they'd have been able to move him at the deadline. There's no value. Nobody wanted to pay when they knew could get him if they wanted him in as a free agent. I think almost anybody says, "Oh, would you like to come?" Yes, says Drouin. Yes, I would like to come play for you. Please give me a contract. Just joking. I'm having fun. Mother Nature being a pain in the ass. You could say ass. But you're Australian, so I think you probably say bum more than ass. It is, but the rain stopped. It's supposed to rain on and off all day. As a matter of fact, for Dorval, because of the weather, they canceled the Canada Day celebrations for today, and they moved them to tomorrow, which I think is also going to be like this, but I guess maybe not.
The Wheeler's contract, it's $800,000. It's $800K with potential performance bonuses of $300K. So could be worth as much as $1.1 million. Still dirt cheap.
No, but he got bought out, so he got he's paid.
Yeah, no. So he's still gonna make that big money. That's why he signed this cheap deal. But still.
No, it's a good deal for them because of the buyout. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised a team like Boston didn't offer him like $1 million. They're gonna need a first line center.
Maybe he didn't want to go to Boston. Maybe they did, and he didn't want to go.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think you might see, I could see the Habs going after a guy that was bought out that they can get on the cheap like that, like a Wheeler. I could see that as a forward possibly if they're going to reach for somebody, but it's not going to be anybody for any big money, if at all, because on the forward ranks, they need room for the kids. And on defense, I think their defense, same thing. They need room for the kids. The only spot they got, in my opinion, is a right side defenseman and maybe a right winger for a short-term contract? Maybe. Like a third, fourth line winger, maybe a second line potential winger.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to sign anybody big for any long period of time. I don't think it's going to happen today. And I don't think in the offseason either.
No, I don't think so. But with that being said, I do got to run.
You're leaving me?
Yeah, I got to run.
Yeah, no worries. I'm only here. I'm going to be here maybe for another half hour, but no worries.
It was fun,
Thanks
guys.
for being...
Rick,
yeah.
Hopefully you have fun the rest of the stream. I'll try to kind of keep you updated. I'll text you.
Well, I've got Twitter back, so I mean, I can, it's for a half hour. I can update. I don't think anything's gonna happen. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, things will happen throughout the day too. So I'll try if I see anything. But
I don't think I'm getting any updates. So,
Jonathan, quick.
Oh no, it's back. It's back to being down.
One more deal here. Jonathan Quick to the Rangers, 1 year, $850K.
Oh. Yeah, I'm surprised. I kind of thought Quick would retire.
I thought about that too, but I gotta go before.
All right. Have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the day, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Guys, keep your sticks on the ice. Sorry, I can't speak. Go Habs, go. We'll see you later.
Go Habs, go. Okay, ciao, man.
Yeah.
All right. I got no way to find out now what the hell's going on. So you guys keep me updated for the rest of the time. And I'll remind everybody, I'm back at night at 8:00 doing Saturday hockey talk. So we can go over whatever happens the rest of the day. Tonight, so hopefully you guys will be back and want to see me twice in a day. I don't know. You want to see me twice in a day? I hope so. So don't forget, back tonight at 8. And what else? Whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. And we're going to try to start over. And, ask away some questions. And I will answer them if I can. Phil, what are you saying there? Habs sign undrafted overager Tabuger Ollie. Defenseman is described as a clogging like defense. Tabuger. I know there's a joke in there. I'm not getting it. Phil, that's actually a good point. With Eddie retained, that leaves us 2 more retention slots. Precious retention slots, he says. Yeah, that's right. They're only allowed 3 retained players. Every team's only allowed 3. Hey, WST, happy Canada Day. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Guru, thanks, man. Appreciate to see you there. Stan says hopefully he'll be sober by 8. You don't have to be sober to come in. Have signed career minor leaguer Mike Roch, 30-year-old center that likes to scratch. Good with drawers? What'd you say? Sun is out in Nova Scotia. Nice. Nova Scotia, California, or Canada? Because I see CA, I think California. Don't ask me why. Well, it's good that it's nice in Nova Scotia. Ollie to Booger. Ollie to Booger. I get you. I get you now. I'm not wearing my dad jokes shirt. All right, we need more comments. And if you're here and having a good time or thinking of leaving but had a good time, please give a thumbs up on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing that. You live near Halifax, referred to as California. I've never heard that before. No, you said what did you say? I don't know what you said there, Phil. All right, we need some more comments or I'm going to bore that freaking hell out of you if you don't make comments. Phil has been into psychedelics from the look of it. Okay, I'm waiting on comments. I don't know what to say because I'm not getting any bloody news because of Twitter being down. Oh, maybe I'm getting it back now. Oh, it came back. Look at that. Look at that. But nothing new. It's like I'm not getting any new stuff. Oh, well, at least it's back. So if anything trends, I'll be able to see it. Simpsons and Futurama quotes. Yeah, I knew the Simpson quotes. Zeph, I did read that one. You like Drouin, but a specific role, $1.5 million, third line, second wave on power play. He will be pushed in the coming years anyway, but he's going to do that elsewhere. Bob, yeah, that was Matt had that just before he left. Jonathan Quick for the Rangers. Do I think the Habs will try to sign Orlov? I do not. Well, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure. You're talking about that right side defenseman. I mean, look, maybe. I think that's a little more expensive than they'd want to go for Orlov, but maybe I'm wrong. Belzile with the Rangers. Did he sign with the Rangers? I know Belzile was exploring the UFA market. Joe, no worries. It's okay. Don't worry about that. I'm on a PC, so I don't have that problem. Yeah, it's not easy to get all the info I want and look at your guys' comments. It is raining pretty good right now. Oh my god. As like torrential downpour out there. Connor McDavid, not McDonald, it's McDavid to Habs for a Big Mac deal. I wouldn't mind a Big Mac right now. I'm hungry for lunch. Yeah, send me a Big Mac. I'll take that deal. Anyways, I was right. It was a boring free agent frenzy day. They're getting worse every year. They're just more and more boring, but it wasn't a great crop of free agents for it to be exciting. So I think, these guys over the summer, we'll see movement, but it's going to be pretty quiet, I think, today. Do I have a boat? I don't. It stopped already, but if it kept going, I might have needed one. I live in the city, no boat. Although I'm not far from the water here. Like I'm a 10-minute walk maybe to get to the water. Zeph, this is the problem, the cap space, right? And it is. It's harder to move. But these guys they've got to fill out rosters, and the players got to play. So it'll take longer, I think, but they'll move around. Just I think today it's going to be quiet. Possibly, I think 5:00 is when it ends. 5:00 Eastern. So 4.5 hours from now, and then it might be 3:00, and then for another hour or so, if they're backed up on deals, they'll still announce them for another hour or so. So as long as they got in to the what do you call that? The fax machine in time. Let's see. Who is texting me? Matt, hearing Belzile to the Rangers. Freddie Anderson, 2 years, $3.4 million extension with the Canes. So the question that the Hurricanes had, I hope I didn't. Where's my about goalie? I heard they might be changing up their goalies. They're not. They re-signed both. Joe asked me if I have a boat, and I think she meant if you don't, I know a guy. That's a real dad joke there, Joe. Make sure when you're close to the water, you don't mean water in the basement. No, well, I live in an apartment building, so it's not going to affect me too much if there is. Killorn is too expensive and too old. That does not fit in the Habs rebuilding plan. I agree with that. That he doesn't fit. Like, I think it was 2 or 3 seasons ago. I think 2 seasons ago. I was big on them signing Killorn. But 2 seasons later, not as big. At least not for big money. And I wouldn't think Killorn's going to sign for $1.5 million, $2 million. So, but he might have to, actually, in this market. We'll see. We'll see. Mackenzie Blackwood to the Sharks, 2 years, $4.7 million. The AAV is $2.35 million. Is that official? I know Mackenzie Blackwood was expected to move. Zeph, yeah, that Huberdeau contract that Calgary gave him was, you knew that maybe half that contract would be good and the other half it would be not so good. His age and the number were not going to be good. So yeah, can't trade for Huberdeau because that contract is horrible. You got that on TSN, so Mackenzie Blackwood is a Shark. I imagine as a backup. I don't know who the other goalie is over there. I had him last year. Is it Reamer that's over there? I wish I had a proper tracker that was working, but the tracker I got was not working very well. And neither. Yeah, Twitter screwed up again. I'm only getting old stuff. It won't refresh to new. Yeah, apparently you can post, but you're not seeing any new posts, which is weird. No, nothing new there. Oh, well. Mikhail Maltsev, who I don't think I've ever heard of, to LA Kings 1 year, $7.55, so league minimum. Zeph, they're not going to retain. He just signed. That means there is 7 years left. I don't see anybody retaining salary for 7 years on a player. And what did they pay him? They paid him good money. Like $10 million. That's like $5 million a year you're stuck with for 7 years? No. Tyson Yost to Buffalo, or wasn't he there? I thought they waived him. 1 year, $2 million. They probably waived him to get a better deal. Korpisalo to Ottawa, 5 years, $4 million. Ottawa got their goalie. Ottawa, Korpisalo, 5 years, $4 million AAV. That's the goalie, I guess, because they were looking for a goalie. And they got one. Where did Korpisalo go to? Was it LA? They traded him to LA, right? Columbus last year. So, wonder who LA's got in nets. I'm not thinking. Everybody that I know was there is gone. Zeph says Yost, Colorado. So I don't even know. Seems to be a bit of action on Twitter in relation to NHL free agency, but I can't get any because Twitter is all effed up. That's the problem. Nothing new. It won't give me anything new, and now it's going to be down. Watch. Go home. Yeah, I'm not getting anything new. Not working. Great time for it to go downward on draft day. Anyway, I think I'm going to take off in a few minutes. So you guys got a few more minutes to ask a question or tell me something. And then I'm going to take off. I'm back tonight at 8 o'clock to do Saturday Hockey Talk, as always. And hopefully we'll see you there. I say we, but I don't think Matt's coming for that. Corpusalo confirmed to Ottawa. Good for Ottawa. Got their goalie. I imagine it's going to be Corpusalo and who was that good one they had? They had one that was good last year. Can't remember his name. I think he's a Finnish or something like that. Imagine that'll be their tandem. We'll see if they're able to rise a little bit in the standings and who they'll, if they do, who they take out. I don't use Reddit, and I have Discord. I still don't do much on Discord and don't know how to use it for that, to be honest with you. Reddit's not my thing because when I started doing this, they wouldn't let me post anywhere. They wouldn't let me do anything. I got a lot of shit and thrown out, and I said, yeah, Reddit can go F themselves. That's just for me, though. Well, I think everybody's leaving. All right. In that case, since everybody is dropping out, I've been on here for a bit. What's up, Bob? I'm gonna take off in like 2 minutes. Time for lunch. Also got to walk my dog. Who do I project as replacing Eddie on D? Nobody. I think there was too many left side defensemen. They were just moving the extras and a veteran. They're already there. The guys. Nobody. I think what they're going to do if they bring in anybody for that, like to replace, is on the right side. And it's still, again, not to replace anybody. They need another right side guy. Hey, Guru, thank you. You too. Have a great Canada Day. And we'll see you tonight. Jim, I doubt it. I think it's unlikely today that they'll sign anybody. I think over the summer you might see one or two, minor signings from them, but I didn't expect anything today. Except moving Eddie, that was really good. I was hoping they would do that, and Hoffman, but they got rid of Eddie, so that's not nice to say got rid of. They moved him to another place. Who'll be promoted from Laval? Well, I mean, I think Raphael Harvey-Pinard not going to go back, so he's gonna be brought back up because he was last there to help them in the playoffs. Joshua Roy, I expect him if he has a good camp, and possibly somebody like maybe an Earl Heineman, Sean Farrell, something like that. I think the call-ups like that, you're going to see the rookies this year be on the forwards. I think the defense, we already know who's here. They're not rookies anymore. Unless injuries happen, then other guys. But Yeah, those are the guys I think actually to make the team. I think Joshua Roy is going to get a shot on the first line with Suzuki and Caulfield. Personally, I think they're going to try. What defenseman will be promoted to fill Eddie's spot? Nobody. We're overloaded on the left side. They don't need to call up anybody, I don't think. I'm not. I off the top of my head right now, I don't know if I can go over the names to know, but I don't think so. I think down in the minors though, so you got William Trudeau. Oh God, let me think of the names. There's one or two guys down there that you might see, but I think William Trudeau's big possibility to play some time here. If you're trying to go with Mailloux, I don't think it's going to be Mailloux. Not this year, next year. Hey, Joe, have a great evening over there in Down Under. In Down Under, have a good night. Thanks for being here, Joe. All right. On that note, I'm taking off. It was fun. It was a great afternoon as far as talking to you guys. Nothing happened really. Nothing for Montreal, and didn't expect too many there was no big signings really to have. So anyways, there you go. So I'll be back at 8 o'clock. Hopefully you guys will too. Thanks for being here and joining me and Matt for almost 2 hours. And till next time, stay safe and peace out. Happy Canada Day, and I'll see you tonight. Ciao, everybody.